Welcome back to a new Anno 1800 guide. Today we're going to talk about a completely new feature that came with Game Update 15, the lifestyle needs. And to be clear, once again, this is something that came out with the game update. So even if you didn't buy DLC 11, even if you didn't buy Season 4 Pass, you do still have these lifestyle needs. Let's dive right in. These lifestyle needs are over here. You can see them at the bottom. So this is not a typical need, this is not an happiness or luxury need, this is a third type of need. This is available for all population in the old world, in the new world, but also in the new regions, in the DLC region like Mbesa and the Arctic. And in my opinion, there are broadly three types of lifestyle need. The first one is called communication, it's linked to the mail system. The second type is base resource material, like over here the spectacles. Even if you don't have any DLC, you will be able to provide those spectacles. And then the third type is there are a number of lifestyle needs that are post DLC goods. For example, this one here for the Obreras, right? Obreras, this is in the new world. Now, these Obreras are going to start to need something from Mbesa, right? So you'll need different DLCs to be able to provide those goods. Over here, we need typewriters, right? And what are those lifestyle needs actually doing? Well, they do two things. Each one of them will provide you bonus population and bonus income, bonus coins, dollars. It's always population and coins. And when I say population, it's population of that same time. Here, this is an Obreros residence, so we're going to have more Obreros. If I select a Jornaleros and go to their lifestyle need, then any of these goods will provide Jornaleros. So the coins, that's pretty normal, right? It's similar to most of the resources. When you provide a good, you get income because you sort of need to compensate for the maintenance of creating those goods. But the Jornaleros, or the bonus population, is a bit different because this is a population that doesn't count in your consumption. If I click on Ctrl Q, to show my consumption, in particular to see the consumer goods, this consumption over here, for example, this RAM consumption will not change if I start giving lifestyle goods. So in a sense, this is like free population, not 100% free because you do need to give something, right? For example, here spectacles, but this is pretty free. Now, thanks to Banana and the rest of the wiki team, we already have all of the lifestyle need in the wiki, including how much they consume and what you need to unlock them. So I will put it, of course, in the video description below if you don't know the wiki. But yes, on that page, you can see, for example, for the farmers, there is the mail, then there's flour, sugar, and jam. And for example, for the jam, you need the tourist DLC, but you also need 300 tourists to unlock it. And then you can see over here what it's going to give you. It's going to give you 3 population, for example. And this over here is telling you that 1 jam is going to be able to supply 62.5 residences of farmer, right? So with that, you can sort of plan how many you're going to need. Similarly, for the workers, we have the mail, and then we have rum, penny farthing, and hot sauce. Hot sauce coming from the latest DLC, right? See that change. For the artisan, again, the mail, the wool, clay, and paper. Paper coming from Mbesa. Engineers, the mail, and on top of that, soap, chocolate, and shampoo. Some of these are definitely easier to produce than others, right? And this is also definitely true for the investors, where on top of the mail we have fur, bear fur from the Arctic, and tapestries from Mbesa. So the bear fur, that's gonna be a lot harder to make a lot of it if you have a lot of investors. And as I said, this is also for all the other regions, right? We saw the Jornaleros in-game with their war clothes, felt, and theft. Also the Obreros with their glasses, typewriter, and illuminated script. The explorers in the Arctic will want some bread and some tallow, while the technicians are actually going to want some rum and dynamite. Don't ask me why they want dynamite, I think that's dangerous. The shepherds in Mbesa are going to need some Wanza timber from Mbesa, some grain and some poncho, while the elders are going to want some cotton fabric, sewing machine, and goose feather. And then on top of that, we still have, of course, the scholars. The scholars are going to want some salpetre, some New World reports, and some Arctic reports. And this one is actually a slightly different one, where this will provide more research points. And then last, for now at least, is the tourist. We have gramophones, the bowler hats, and the leather boots. So now you may be wondering, are those lifestyle needs really worth it or not? Well, it depends. If, for example, you're talking about the Arctic, you have one of your Arctic plateau and you know that you need 1,000 technicians to make sure that you can get all of the gas on this plateau. Well, 1,000 technician is feasible without lifestyle needs, but then you need to produce quite a bit of resources and deliver them there, right? Now, if you start giving some lifestyle need, you'll be able to have 1000 technicians, but you will consume a lot less of those complex things like husky sleds or even the canned food, and instead just bring maybe some mail, bring maybe some rum that you can produce in the new world, where that's easier. Talking about the mail, I'll make a very detailed video on that topic on the channel, so don't hesitate to check in the video description below to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss it. But what I did want you to highlight is that those three types of mail, we have the local one. The local one is the one produced on site. The regional one is the one that's coming from the same region, and then the overseas mail, it's mail that's coming from another region. For example, here we are in the new world, so this will be mail coming from the old world, for example. Each of these provide very different bonuses. This one, for example, is 4 obreros and 2 coins. Then we move to 5 obreros and 5 coins. And then here we move to 8 obreros and 11 coins. So you can see that the overseas is obviously a lot better to give if you can than the local one. But of course, it is also a bit more complex because you need to get it from another region. So you need to transport it. Don't hesitate to share in the comments if you have any questions, any thoughts, any reflections about the lifestyle need. I think this is an interesting addition to the game, especially if the cross DLC element brings some interesting game. I know this is a bit of a sort of change in the Anno mentality, because in the past they were saying each DLC needs to be, independent. They shouldn't link to each other to not force people to buy them. But at the same time, those lifestyle needs, as we said, are a bonus on top, right? They're not mandatory. So I think it makes sense. I think this is a great addition. I like that they had that idea, and I'm definitely keen to start using it in playthroughs. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.